Ultra Access, Scaffold Technical Support.
Hello, this is Jason at Ultra Access, and I want to do a quick video today just to give a little bit of knowledge and experience that I've found when it comes to branding. So branding is very, very important. It's something that's sometimes overlooked with new companies, especially with sort of people transitioning from being a transit bandit, as it was, scaffolders, into sort of getting their first proper scaffold lorry, and then sort of starting to look at getting a very small yard or a lockup and progressing their company from there. It's the type of thing that should be really thought about proactively from the start. So you want to pick your company name. I picked Ultra because I like Latin, essentially. So Ultra in Latin means beyond. So it's Ultra Access is beyond access. I've got Ultra Britannia now, which is my political and Christian organisation that I'm slowly building up, one step at a time, because again, I can't do everything at the same time. But Ultra Britannia is beyond Britain, so it has a certain meaning to myself, and it's the same with when you pick a company name and you start building your own brand. So you want to pick something that's personal to yourself, that's got a little bit of a meaning. I always find that if it means something to you, you've got something more to fight for and something more to believe in, but it's not always easy building a company up and building a brand. You get very little help, and you get knocked more often than not. Not knocked like money wise, but you get a lot of knocks along your journey, essentially. So you want to get the name right. You want to get the colour scheme right. Now that could be your favourite football team. If you're, I don't know, if you're Liverpool, it could be red and white or whatever. If you're a Liverpool fan, but it could be any colour scheme you want, really. I mean, I chose because I'm very patriotic. I chose the British flag, exactly the same British red and exactly the same blue used in the British flag. So yeah, obviously mine was worked where I did. Mine was U in the A, but it's almost like an infinity sign as well, showing that there's unlimited potential for scaffolding. I did really think I put a lot of effort into it proactively when I started Ultra Access. So again, with my other bits of PPE, you've got, again, it's the very similar. Well, it's exactly the same, but it's the red and the blue as the British flag. And I went for something a bit different with my obviously these are my work tops, that I wear in my videos. I picked these out because I think they're pretty smart. Yes, it cost money, they weren't cheap, but I've got these. I've had these for years, when I had the money to get them, and I was able to invest in my PPE as it was. I made the effort to go and get these ones specifically. I thought the black goes better with the grey and the silver rather than the red and the blue. I can wear when I'm meeting clients, and they're pretty good. They look pretty smart. It's all part of that company image. So what you need to do is you need to get your colour scheme right. You need to get the name of your company set and locked. You need to get your logo exactly how you want it. And you need to get your typographics or your lettering that matches with your logo. Nothing that's too far out there. Something that's easy to print onto materials like banners, put on the side of like decals on your vehicles when you get your wraps later on down the line, if you get to that stage. High vises, something that obviously you want to save them as PNG files if you make your own, not JPEGs, because JPEGs have got a white background. What you'll find if you take them to a printer, potentially they'll become distorted. So they may have to physically remove the white background, which may distort the logo depending on how detailed it is. Personally, I would go to a graphic designer, which may cost money. Some of them are quite expensive, but you can find good ones that are pretty cheap. Or if you want, you can come to someone like myself. Yes, first and foremost, I'm a scaffolding consultant. Yes, I do loads of stuff. I do estimating, pull tests, inspections. I help with designs, pre-NASC audits, all that sort of stuff. But I also can help with the commercial aspect, business development, company promotion. I've got a massive following on LinkedIn, but I can also help with your branding. So if it's something you want to speak to me about later on down the line, I can definitely help with that. If you wanted to do it yourself like I did, it's not the most difficult thing in the world. You've just got to have a vision set out. You got to sit there and go, right, what am I looking to achieve? What am I looking to build? How do I want other people to see me? You know, how do I want other people to see people who work for me? You know, how do I want to appear to other companies? And that's it really. A little bit of proactive thought going into building your brand, as it was, will save you a lot of money later on down the line. Because you think you get up to the stage where you've got a couple of, like, where your turnover is I don't know, a couple of £1 million a year, and you go for a full rebrand. It's going to cost a lot of money. That means replacing all your old PPE. It means getting lorries unwrapped and rewrapped, and yeah. So it's best to have a plan, set it out at the start, and then stick by it all the way. And yeah, that's the only advice really I can give when it comes to branding. And you know, you could potentially do like I've done, is you've got multiple types of clothing depending on what situation you're in, you know, what site you're on, who you're going to meet. Yeah, and it covers you, and essentially you're a walking billboard for your company. All right, so that's the only advice I can really give on that, you know. Yeah, hope you all have a good day. And again, if you need any advice for anything, or if you need myself to come and help rebrand your business for you, I'm pretty good at it for a scaffolder, you know. So yeah, feel free to give us pop us a message on LinkedIn, or pop us a WhatsApp, you know, or just go on the website and contact us through there. All right, so this is Jason at Ultra Access, and this is just some branding tips on what you could do when you're starting out trying to build your own little scaffolding empire, as it was. All right, and yeah, I'll see you in a bit.
Ultra Access, Scaffold Technical Support. Proudly supporting the British scaffolding industry. With a selection of our services including guidance and advice publications, scaffold estimations, technical training and development, scaffolding inspections and compliance audits, scaffolding vlogs and videos, and UK-wide scaffolding consultancy services. Ultra Access, Scaffold Technical Support.